Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Happy Saturday. Okay, so, well, the boys were asleep. Otis just woke up. He was laying on the floor over there. How are you doing, buddy? We have learned in the last 24 hours that we hate the cones. They do not like these cones at all. But they're doing okay. They're doing okay. I'll give you guys a little bit of an update on that in a second. But they were asleep, and so I was going to go out on the front porch. I was going to leave the door open, actually, and I was like, so if they came over there, I could see them. And then I was going to film outside. Alex just left to go and see his mom. He has not seen her in a month because she's been in Europe. So he went to go see his mom, and I'm hanging out here with the boys. And I was going to film on the front porch, but the sun it is hot today in Indianapolis. It is really, really hot. I was talking to my neighbor earlier when I took them out, and I said, I thought it was supposed to be cooler today. And she said, no, that's tomorrow. It's supposed to get cooler. But anyway, oh, my nose is itching. I just took my allergy medicine. My nose is itching already. But I was going to sit on the front porch, but the sun is just like covering the entire front porch. And I want to get my vlog done early today because I am wanting to spend the rest of the day reading and watching TV shows and relaxing. I will tell you, I am exhausted right now. I am, and I feel like I'm going to sneeze any second. I am exhausted right now. In the last 24 hours, I feel like I've had like a total of like 6 hours of sleep. I'm super, super tired right now. So at some point there will be a nap today as well. Probably when Alex gets home, there will be a nap. But I've been reading a lot. I've been watching a lot of TV shows. I have like a lot of media goals for this weekend. One of which is I want to finish the Alex Cross book. Okay, I'll get to my media goals in just a second. Let's do a little time and temperature check. So I was just listening to the Alex Cross book, so I have it on here right now. I have it's an hour. I said it, I have an hour and 40. You can tell I'm like half asleep right now. It is 1:48 p.m. right now, and you can see I have the Alex Cross book up here that I was listening to. Let's see how much time I have on this Alex Cross book. I think I have like an hour and 20 minutes left of it. I have an hour and 21 minutes left of the Alex Cross book. And then, so this is the first September book for the Alex Cross book. Alex Cross books. When I get done with this book, I was going to start Secrets and Secrets or whatever that's called by Dan Brown. But I think that Nikki and I are both going to read this book called The September House. Have you guys heard about this book? It just came out. And all of those psychological book clubs on Facebook are talking about this. It probably sucks. But we both got it. And so we're going to both listen to it this weekend. The September House by Carissa Orlando. Hold on a second. Let me pull up the synopsis for you guys. It's supposed to be spooky. Why run from a house when you can stay and ignore the ghosts? Just when you thought you'd seen everything a haunted house novel could do, The September House comes along and delivers an eerie, darkly funny, and emotionally grounded book about the ghosts that haunt houses and marriages. This is Grady Hendrix, one of my favorite authors. I love him. New York Times, but I did not like the book, How to Sell a Haunted House. That's the only book of his that I didn't like. New York Times bestselling author of How to Sell a Haunted House. A woman is determined to stay in her dream home even after it becomes a haunted nightmare in this compulsively readable, twisty, and layered debut novel. When Margaret and her husband, Hal, bought the large Victorian house on Hawthorne Street for sale at a surprisingly reasonable price, they couldn't believe they finally had a home of their own. Then they discovered the hauntings. Every September, the walls drip blood. The ghosts of former inhabitants appear, and all of them are terrified of something that lurks in the basement. Most people would flee. Margaret is not most people. Margaret is staying. It's her house. But after 4 years, Hal can't take it anymore, and he leaves abruptly. Now he's not returning calls, and their daughter Catherine, who knows nothing about the hauntings, arrives, intent on looking for her missing father. To make things worse, September has just begun, and with every attempt Margaret and Catherine make at finding Hal, the hauntings grow more harrowing because there are some secrets the house needs to keep. And the book is called The September House, and it is by, because I know people will ask, Carissa Orlando, Orlando, The September House. So that's what I'm going to start after I finish this Alex Cross book. Yeah, and I'm on track to finish the Alex Cross books for September, which I'm really happy about. Is it getting cloudy outside? It kind of looks a little dark in here. Alex just ran me up to Speedway to get a fountain pop. He's like, before I leave, do you want me to like take you to get a coffee or a fountain pop? I was like, oh my God, I would love a fountain pop. So I went in there and they like were out of like, I wanted a Diet Dr. Pepper. They were out of Diet Dr. Pepper. And so I was like, I'm gonna get this Diet Pepsi. So cheers. And the straw that I had to get was a slushy straw. But you know what? Oh my God, it's fantastic. Oh, it tastes so good. So Alex took me up to the Speedway up the street. The Thornton's that I usually go to, it is like, that's right up the street. It is closed down for remodeling. I think it opens back up again in November. So I ran up to Speedway with Alex, took me up there, and then came back and I was listening to the audiobook, hanging out with the dogs. You know what? The sun is probably off the front porch, but I'm just gonna hang out there with them. Otis is sleeping right next to me. This cone one. You guys, he's so small and little. Can I just show you this? This is so cute. Look at this. They hate the cones. Oh, I was gonna do the temperature too. I was gonna do the weather check. Hold on a second. Let's look and see what the weather is like in Indianapolis today. I thought it was supposed to get cooler today, but I guess it's tomorrow. Yeah, it's 88 degrees right now in Fair. It feels really, really hot. What does it say it feels like? Oh, it feels like, it's supposed to get up to 89. Chances of rain, 15%. I don't think it's supposed to rain a whole lot. Tomorrow, I think it's supposed to be in the 70s again tomorrow. Tomorrow it says 82. Maybe it was Monday that I said it was gonna get cooler. Monday, 74 and thunderstorms. Tuesday, 77 and rain showers. Wednesday, 74, rain showers. Thursday, 72 and rain showers. So it's gonna be in the low 70s all week long. I'm kind of ready for the cool down a little bit. I'm kind of a lot ready for the cool down. So yeah, the dogs did really well their first night. They just hate the cones. I got the inflatable cones. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? The ones I got are like terry cloth. They're really nice. I like pulled it out of the boxes today and looked at it. Because I was talking to Tanya last night and she's like, I really like the inflatable ones. I said, I like the inflatable ones too. We actually found out about them with Tucker because we used them with Tucker for something. But they're like donuts that you put around their neck and they like have like a Velcro strap on the back of them. And you just blow them up and inflate them. And they're the perfect size for them. Like I got the right size and everything. I ordered them online. I like looked up what's like the best brand for like the inflatable cones and stuff or whatever they're called. I don't even remember what the brand is, but I got them each and they're both, I think I got a pink one and a blue one because I was like, I don't want to get the same colors for both of them. They only offered like pink and blue. So I think I got a pink and a blue one. Or maybe I got two pink ones. I just pulled one out of the box, but they came in these little boxes. But when I was talking to Vet about it, I said, can we use the inflatable one for the vet assistant? And she said, you can. She was like, but we really prefer that they use the plastic cones because it covers like it's supposed to go like 2 inches above their head or something like that. And she said, I'm not so concerned about she was like the inflatable cones. They still can't, it's hard for them to lick themselves, the incisions. She said, but if they can lick each other. And since they spend so much time together and they're always around each other, she was like, I would wait till like day 4. And she was like, at day 4, she was like, if you look at the incisions, she's like, check the incisions like twice a day. She's like, if the incisions look like they're healing properly and all that kind of stuff, she goes, then you can change to the inflatable ones because at like day 4, they should be fine. She was like, and then keep the inflatable cones on until like day 8. And she said like, I think she said 7 or 8 days to keep it on. By the way, I was looking at the paperwork last night. So we were talking about the birthday. Somebody actually reached out to me. I think it was Lisa that said that she was a vet tech and she was like, let me know about their teeth and whatever, and then I can tell you. So thank you, Lisa, for reaching out to me. So about their age and stuff like that. So on the paperwork, I was like looking through all the paperwork last night because they sent tons of paperwork home with Alex of like the instructions of what to do and stuff. But then on the paperwork that it says like their breed and I mean they're basically mutts, right? But they're Shih Tzu Chihuahua supposedly. But then whenever people meet Walter, they're like, he has terrier in him. They like swear that he has terrier. So who knows? I'm gonna do the DNA test that I was sent because I was sent 2 DNA tests, which was so sweet. But anyway, when I was looking on the paperwork last night, I like was just like scanning the top of it and all this kind of stuff, and it put on their date of birth, and it said they put on their 5/28/25. And so I was talking to Alex about it, and he was like, I mean, he's like, they're your dogs, you can like put their birthday at whatever you want. I go, I know I was gonna do my mom's passing date, but I know this is gonna sound strange, but for me, it's really important that I have like their, like a close enough accurate birthday. So since the vet, and I think when I was talking to the woman on the first vet assistant, or vet, I think she was the vet assistant or whatever that I talked to earlier in the week, I think it was on Wednesday or Wednesday, before the surgery, when I was going over with her, like she was going over the surgery procedure and stuff with me, she said that they had placed, I think she said they placed them at 5/28 as their birthday. So I think I'm just gonna go with 5/28. But what's strange about that is, if that's truly their birth date, is 5/28, I'm gonna see exactly how many weeks old they are then. Then that puts them at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17. So next Wednesday, they will be 18 weeks. So they're like just over 4 months right now. Which, in all honesty, makes a lot of sense about their size and the training and stuff like that. But at the same time, like our vet said she doesn't think they're gonna get a whole lot bigger. I think since our last vet appointment, Walter is like, I don't know if you can see him, he's like on his back. You can't see him. If I get up, I'll move. He's so cute. He's like on his back with like the cone and his head's to the side. He hates the cone. Walter absolutely hates the cone. I like want to show you guys so bad because it's so cute, but they're just so sound asleep right now, so I don't want to bother them. He's like on his back like this and like his head's to the side. What was I saying? Anyway, so they'll be 18 weeks next week, I guess. So yesterday, was it yesterday? Is it Saturday? I feel like my days are all going together. I'm tired, but I've had a good weekend. Like yesterday and today was very relaxing. I read a lot last night. I watched a lot of TV shows. I mean, they've done well, so it's like I'm not super worried. They've had a little diarrhea. The vet said that would be completely normal for a day or two after because of the anesthesia. So they've had a little diarrhea. But other than that, they're doing really, really well. Last night, I had to separate them when they slept. I'll get to that in just a second. But what was I saying? I was like reading online stuff about like what to expect about like dogs after, and I saw some like thing online that like some thread that people were talking about, and they were talking about how like the post surgery of like neutering in Spain is like, all these people were like, oh my god, it was worse than potty training. It was worse than crate training. We haven't had any issues with the crate training. We call it their house. That's what we called it for Boo and Tucker too. They love their house. Walter goes down there by himself quite a bit into his house. They don't mind at all. And that's one word that they do know. So like I say like, okay, let's go to your house. And they'll just like walk down the stairs and they go right in there. And then they just like sit inside their house and they look at me and I give them a little treat and then they go to sleep. The crate training has been real easy. Potty training with Otis has been easy. Walter is struggling. He doesn't really understand it. He doesn't understand that that's why we're outside. You know, he doesn't really get that we're outside to potty. But anyway, what was I gonna say? So yeah, their birthday, I'm gonna say, is May 28th. I put it in my phone and I have it on the paperwork and stuff like that. That's what the vet said. Oh, this is what she said. She said she doesn't think that they're gonna get a whole lot bigger, even though they're only 4 months. She doesn't think that they're gonna get, was that 4 months? Well, they'll be 5 months, right? So they'll be like 4.5 months next month. So, or next week. So she's like, I don't think that they're gonna get a whole lot bigger. I think Otis right now I thought he was bigger when we went to the vet the last time. When I talked to her yesterday, she said that Walter had gained a pound. And so I think he's like a 7.8 or 8.8 pounds. And then Walter is exactly like, or Otis is exactly like a pound under him. And she's like, I don't think that they're gonna get a whole lot bigger. When we initially saw her, she said that she thought they would be between like 10 and 12 pounds, but she doesn't think that they're going to get a whole lot bigger. She thinks Otis is pretty, like she was like looking at his paws and stuff like that. And she was like, I think he's kind of about where he's going to be. So Otis is going to always be a really small dog. Walter is tall. Walter, like the way that he's built, it's funny because, I think I've said this quite a bit, but Walter's built like Boo Radley was. Like he's tall and he's skinny and he's kind of long. And, like he doesn't really kind of know what to do with his legs. Like he's like when he runs and stuff like that, he gets like real excited in the house and he's like, his legs kind of go everywhere. Otis is just kind of like a little pudgy roly-poly, like how Tucker was. They're so funny they're so cute next to each other. They love each other so much. So with the meds, the vet was like, keep on giving them the meds, the carprofen, once a day, and like the trazodone like twice a day per needed. I have not given them the trazodone yet today because they've been so tired. So I'm like, I'm not going to give it to them. She's like, you just give it to them as needed. She's like, if they start getting anxious or whatever, you can give it to them. I haven't given them the trazodone today. And she said, give the carprofen until it's like gone. And that's supposed to be, I think, for like pain and anxiety or something like that. Yesterday, so I vlogged, and then, oh yeah, they came home right after I vlogged. Okay, so this was yesterday. So they came home, they were super, super tired when they came home. So Alex was super tired because the night before, he didn't get a lot of sleep. He didn't sleep real great the night before. And then the night before, I had gone to bed later than I wanted to. I mean, I didn't stay up super late, but like I wanted to go to bed earlier because I knew I had to get them up and get them their meds, their pre-surgery meds. And so I had gotten up at like 6 or something like that yesterday morning, gave them their meds, and then I kind of had a hard time going back to sleep, and then went back to sleep, and then I had to get up for my doctor's appointment yesterday. And so I just didn't get a lot of sleep. I thought I would take a nap at some point, but that really never happened yesterday. I never took a nap, and I did not take a walk yesterday. I was kind of really, really worried about them all day long. And Alex was like, if you want to take a walk, like I'll watch them, don't worry about it. I was like, no, like I was kind of like hyper-focused on just like making sure that they were okay. So anyway, interestingly enough, like I wasn't, like throughout the day, I was like very calm and like, I'm like, even right now, like I was talking about this yesterday, I think, like I'm tired, like I feel like I need some sleep. But I'm like super relaxed and calm. I don't know if you can tell. Like I've also been like reading a lot this weekend. I really, really enjoyed getting back into reading again, like the books. Like last night, they were asleep, and so I brought out like the 4 books. Well, I'm reading, I think it's 5 books. Zombie Fallout, The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which I absolutely love. Somebody asked me in the vlog yesterday, they were like, where can you get the Pumpkin Spice Cafe? You can literally get it everywhere. It's like, it was like the #1 2024 TikTok book. It's everywhere. Every bookstore, grocery store, it's everywhere. Audible, library, people have it on, I think it's on like a waiting list at libraries, most people have told me. But anyway, and somebody said, can we do a read along of this book? I am doing a read along. I announced it on my BookTube channel. Who just texted me? Nikki texted me. So anyway, I am doing a read along of the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I think the next time I'm out like with Caroline, I think I'm gonna buy the other 4 in the series, the paperbacks, because I'm really enjoying reading the paperback version of it. And I'm trying to read 3 chapters a day so I can finish the Pumpkin Spice Cafe by, I think the next one. I think the next 2 are like Christmas ones or something. I don't know, but anyway, a lot of people are saying they don't like the Cinnamon Bun Bakery, which is, I think it's the next one. And then I think the 3rd one is a Christmas book. So I think I'm gonna read the next one for October and then wait till November. I'm just gonna like bang out the next 3. And then I think the 6th one comes out like in the spring of next year or something like that. But anyway, it's called like the Daisy Farm or something. I'm liking it. I really do. Like it's, honestly, to say that it's cheesy for me is kind of hard because, I mean, it is cheesy, but it's hard because it's very similar to a cozy mystery, but there's no mystery in it. Like, it's a romance. I would consider, like, I guess apparently, like, I saw this thing come up on my Instagram today, and somebody posted it was like this woman, and she's like, when you read a cozy romance, but then it turns spicy. Nikki said there's spicy parts. Nikki's like, I'm on like chapter 9 right now because I'm trying to read 3 chapters a day. She's on like chapter, I think like 15 or 16 or something like that. She was gonna read it last, she's listening to it. which is interesting because I'm usually the one who listens to books and she's usually the one that, you know, reads it. I think she's listening to like the Kindle where they like, you know, like it's like a computer voice where they translate it or whatever. But she said it does get a little spicy. That doesn't bother me. I don't love it, but it doesn't bother me. Like I can read it, you know what I mean? It is cheesy, but the cheesy aspects of it are what I love. Like the fact that she owns a cafe called the Pumpkin Spice Cafe and it's a coffee shop, or that like she puts all these treats. They do this stakeout because she's got this sound. She hears this sound up. This is how the whole book starts. So it's about this woman and she's inherited. Oh, I wanted to say this. The other day when I was sitting here reading and I said, did I already mention this? And I said that I looked it up because people are like saying that it's like supposed to be based off the Gilmore Girls or something, which I've never seen an episode of the Gilmore Girls. People are like, you should watch the Gilmore Girls. I honestly, like, I don't think that's a show I would really like. The cozy aspect of it, yes, but I'm not a big lover of like the comedy drama kind of things that are just about people's lives. Like, I like mystery thrillers. I like true crime. You know what I mean? You kind of know what you like. But anyway, and I said I like looked into her. I did look into her, and I like Google searched it, and I was like, who is the author of Pumpkin Spice Cafe? And it came up. It was like Lori Gilmore or something like that. And I think I even looked up like, is Lori? It must have been how I typed it in or something. But anyway, little Otis just woke up. Kayla, hey Kayla, how are you? Kayla commented and said that Lori Gilmore actually is a pen name, and she did come up with it off the Gilmore Girls. Whatever I looked up, I did not look up pen name. So he went back over there. Oh, he's sleeping with his brother now. Oh, he just put his little head over there. I don't know if I can show you this, if they'll let me show you, but you guys just look at this for a second. Here, I'm gonna have to get up and show you guys. Hold on. They are so sweet. I know as soon as I do this, they're gonna get up, but I have to show you. Look at little Otis just put his head right on top of his brother sleeping. You guys are the best babies, yeah. Okay. So anyway, when I stood up the other day and I walked in the kitchen and then the camera fell later, somebody said behind the scenes with Peter Monn. I thought that was kind of cute. Anyway, let me pull this in. So Kayla, actually, thank you for saying that, because I kind of get real, like, when I watch shows at night, I'm constantly like looking at the cast and like what other things they were in, and I love to know about authors and pen names and stuff like that. Like, who's the author that oh, this is like, okay. Do you guys know the story about AJ Finn? This is too close, hold on a second. Ooh, it's kind of hot in here. I think I need my fan. Do you know why I got this? Did I share this? I got this because of Angela Oakley on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. She always carries one of these around. I don't hardly ever use it unless I'm sitting right here and I'm trying to be funny. But it actually does feel really nice. It really does. This was literally like $9.99 online. It goes kind of loud, don't you think? Oh, it feels so nice. But anyway, so whatever I looked up, I think I looked up like, I don't know what I looked up, but it didn't come up that it was a pen name. So when Kayla said pen name, I was like, oh my God. So I looked it up. Hold on a second. Lori Gilmore pen name. And the whole thing comes up. Lori Gilman is a pen name for author Melissa McTiernan. Are you guys ready for what she writes? Okay. Who uses the name for her small town romance series like the Dream Harbor series to distinguish it from the paranormal romance and romantic fantasy books she publishes under her real name. So then I looked at these books that she writes, because of course I want to know everything about this person now. And she writes these books, hold on a second, these paranormal fantasy books. I mean, you should see the covers on these. They look like the Hallmark romance novels that my grandma used to read back in the day. My grandma that went to prison. Kind of cracked me up. So Kayla, thank you for letting me know that. Okay, AJ Finn, who wrote The Woman in the Window. Did you guys hear about this? There's like this huge deal about it. Look it up if you want to know the whole story. But I loved that book, Woman in the Window. Well, AJ Finn did this whole thing. Okay, one of the things I have to tell you about the selling point. By the way, when I mentioned like which computer to get the other day on my video, I know I'm all over the place today. Some people like it when I'm all over the place. Okay, when I mentioned what computer to get, a lot of you guys chimed in, and I really, really appreciate it. I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Glammums that said that she likes the MacBook Pro. I mean, I looked at them side by side at the Apple store, and the MacBook Pro is definitely more, like it's clearer and stuff like that. But then there was a husband that chimed in and said, oh, my wife asked me to jump on here and whatever. He's like a computer IT person. It was like the MacBook Air. I don't really know which one to go with. And he was like, save the $200 or $300 or whatever. I will say, even though it's just like a pound difference, maybe not even a pound, I don't even know how much. The MacBook Air, as far as traveling, is so much lighter than the MacBook Pro. But I usually pack it like in my carry-on, not my backpack. So, but the one thing I do like about the MacBook Pro is that you don't have to use this because it comes with a memory card thing and it comes with all these things on the side of it, like the MacBook Air does not. Oh, if I don't put this in my, see, because look, this is the thing I use. So I am so old school, you guys. I still use a mouse. I cannot function on a laptop without a mouse. My husband and everybody that I know slides all over. Caroline sits in the car and uses it. She's like sliding over. I'm like, I cannot do it. What is it about me that I cannot, like, this friend of mine back in the day, we would go over to her house. This is when my ex and I broke up. So one of my best friends at the time, she, like the one that lives in Portland now. So she's lesbian and like all her friends were lesbians. And so it was like me and like this group of 20 lesbians. And so we would go ever and watch I don't even remember an episode of the L Word, but we would all go over there and they would cook food and we would all hang out and we would watch the L Word. Then we went to this bar in Indianapolis called the 10, which was a lesbian bar. It was so much fun. They used to call it the Dirty Dime. But anyway, this girl that she was friends with, I can remember her, like, we would go over there and she'd be like working from her bedroom and whatever, and we would like sit on the floor while she was on the bed and we'd be like watching a movie or whatever, and she just like roll all over the computer. And I can remember thinking to myself, do you ever think cheesy stuff like this? I can remember thinking to myself, God, I wish I could just like use a laptop like that. Like I can't, like I have to use a mouse. But anyway, if I don't have this thing plugged in, then the mouse doesn't work because see this little thing right here is what makes it wireless. I'm so old school. Alex laughs at me. He's like, what do you mean? Because like he'll come over here and try to help me with something and he'll just like, well, I'm like, no, I have to use the mouse. He's like, what do you mean you have to use it? He's like, you cannot scroll. I've like, you know, like the bars on the side? Like if you're, okay, like right here. See, I have to like click on it. And I do, I will tell you, like it's probably just been in the last 2 years that I stopped putting in www. No, because I'm so like old school about that stuff. So anyway, okay, so thank you, Kayla, for letting me know that. But the AJ Finn, so I love to know about like the backstories of like authors and stuff like that. So AJ Finn was the guy that wrote The Woman in the Window. But like there's a whole story behind it. He like lied about like everything. He lied about like, what do you call it? Like he said he worked for J.K. Rowling and that he like worked for some publisher. None of it was true. And it was all just to get him his contract, which I think screwed his career. I have his newest book on Audible. And then who's the other guy? Riley Sager. This was really interesting to me. So I don't know if Riley Sager, is it his real name? Hold on a second. Or is it his pen name? Todd Ritter, also known under the nom de plume of Riley Sager, and Alan Finn is an American author. Okay, if you look up here, why did he change his name? Okay, so when you look this up, I saw some article about this. This is so interesting to me from a marketing point of view. Riley Sager, whose real name is Todd Ritter, changed his name to Riley Sager to rebrand himself after his previous books under his real name sold poorly and to attract publishers who may have been more willing to invest in a new author with a clean slate. This is not the article that I read. The article that I read said that Riley Sager was an androgynous name, so he was appealing to a more female audience, and a lot of women want to read from female authors, supposedly. And so they, like Todd Ritter, they would maybe not read from as much as they would Riley Sager, which was a more like ambiguously androgynous name. So you wouldn't really know. Why does it not say this? Different approach. And then what they did was they changed like if you look at his old books versus his new books, it's completely different. Oh, here it is. Sager also chose the name Riley because it is a gender-neutral pen name, which was a deliberate choice. After adopting the new name, Ritter became a national and international best-selling author as Riley Sager, which, to be honest with you, I've read a couple Riley Sager books. People always recommend them to me. Tanya loves his books. Every time I read them, like, if you've read a Riley Sager book, what's the one that let me look him up real quick. Hold on a second. I'll tell you the ones that I've read. Maybe I've only read 2 Riley Sager books. I guess I could just look it up on my Final Girls I read. Final Girls is a good one. And was it Lock Every Door? One of them was about a hotel in New York City. No. Maybe it was Lock Every Door. Hold on a second. Let me see what this is about. The camera stopped while I was looking at this. Am I really at half an hour already? Was it Survive the Night? Maybe I've read more of his books than I thought. Hold on a second. Let me look at my Goodreads. So Tanya told me to read The House Across the Lake. She loves that book so much. Here's the thing about it. Okay, like when I read his books, I get real excited about the synopsis because I think it's going to be like, oh my God, this book is going to be so good. But then, like, it almost gets there for me, but then it doesn't come full throttle. Like, it kind of misses it a little bit. And I feel like there's so many books like his. I cannot believe these dogs are like so... Oh my God, little Otis has got his stomach on Walter's belly. It's so cute. I feel like there's so many books in the genre right now that it's like, of like thriller genre, that like, you gotta really wow me. You know what I mean? Lock Every Door and Final Girls. He only has, I was gonna say he's got a lot more books out. So I read Final Girls. What did I give it? Let's see how many stars. Well, I'll say 5 stars. I gave it 4 stars. What did I give Lock Every Door? I remember I did not like Lock Every Door. That was about the hotel room, or the hotel in New York City. I gave it 4 stars. I was really generous back in the day. When did I finish this? Edit dates, 2019 I read. Final Girls came out after that, I feel like. 2017, I guess it came out earlier. So Final Girls... 10 years ago, college student. It was about these 2 girls. And they're like on the run. And I'll tell you the book that I loved, the whole final, because I love the idea of a final girl. Hold on a second. Do I have any? Oh no. I get all these notifications on Goodreads. The book that I love the concept of a final girl. Okay, like in horror movies. The final girl book that I really, really liked was, it's by Grady Hendrix, The Final Girl Support Group. Here it is, yeah. This was good. Now, I know a lot of people that didn't like this, but like I said, I'm a big Grady Hendrix fan. This one was good. And what I liked about it was that it kind of used like other like horror movies. Honest to God, like the only one of his I did not like was How to Sell a Haunted House. I think the first book of his that I read was My Best Friend's Exorcism, which I thought was fantastic. And the pop cultural references to the 80s were like, I was like, if you ever read... I know it'll surprise people that I really like this book, but I remember when I got on BookTube and this book was, or when it came out or whatever, it was a huge deal. Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I think it came out before I was on BookTube, but people would talk about it. And I'm like, I'm not a sci-fi person. We know now that it was made into a movie, but like this, I read it before it was made into a movie. I think I did. No, I did. I read it before it was made into a movie. But everybody was talking about it. And so I was like, well, I'm gonna read this book. I loved Ready Player One. To this day, one of my favorite books. You don't even have to like science fiction. Like I was watching War of the Worlds last night. I'm on season 3. I have 3 episodes left. I was like, they're talking about quantum physics and stuff. I don't even understand what they're talking about. I don't even understand the concept of the show. But like, I love the characters. What's that other show that takes place in Germany where they go in and out of the cave? Dark. I don't even think I understood that show, but I love the characters. You know what I mean? But Ready Player One, I did understand that. But the pop cultural references of Ready Player One were so fantastically done. Okay, My Best Friend's Exorcism is very similar to that. Do not watch the movie. The movie is horrible. And then the second book of his that I read was a Southern Woman's Book Club Guide to Slaying the Vampire or something like that. That book was even better and talks about racism, and it was the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. And then the first book that I read was My Best Friend's Exorcism, and then The Final Girl Support Group, and then How to Sell a Haunted House I read, and then Horror Store, which is like the store about like this like IKEA store. And it's about like these workers that get stuck in this like it's not IKEA, but it's kind of like that. It's called, I don't know, anyway. They get stuck in there overnight. I mean, it's very much IKEA because they talk about meatballs and stuff like that, like the IKEA meatballs. And then like these monsters come out and they're on their run. Craft for Wayward Girls, it's like 18 hours. It just came out in 2025. I already have it on Audible. We Sold Our Souls. Have I read that one? Ankle Snatcher. I haven't read Ankle Snatcher. I didn't even know that was one of his books. Why do I feel like I read We Sold Our Souls? Hold on a second. In the 1990s, heavy metal Van Dirkwerk was, maybe I didn't read this one. Maybe that's the only one I didn't read. But I like all of his books. Oh my God, Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. So, My Best Friend's Exorcism is about these two teenage girls. And it's about, like, the occult and stuff like that. If you don't like that, you're not going to like it. And one of the friends gets possessed. So, it's about these girls. The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, which has absolutely nothing to do with that book, he said it was like, that one was written for younger people, whereas, I mean, it's not YA at all. But that Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires was, like, the mom's version of, like possession and things like that. It was so good. But anyway, so the Final Girl support group. A lot of you have been saying recently that you like when I talk about books. So here, before people would say, please don't talk about books over here. You have a BookTube channel. Then I don't talk about books, and people are like, I miss you talking about books. I don't talk about TV shows, and people are like, I miss you talking about TV shows. I talk about TV shows, and people are like, well, don't you have a TV show channel for it? So here I am. I'm talking about movies and TV shows and books again. I just want to do videos that make people happy. So let me know what you want to hear in the comment section below. Literally, I mean, put in the comment section below. I like when you tell old stories about growing up. I like when you just reflect on life. I mean, I don't go into these vlogs with any kind of mindset of what I'm going to talk about, as you can see today, because I was going to tell you guys what happened last night with the dogs, and I'm talking about a book. But if you guys, like, if the majority say, like, well, I can do, like, a mix of things, but let me know in the comment section below what you really enjoy in the vlog. Like, you like me, you know, telling childhood stories, or talking about my mom and dad, and my stepmom, or my family, or things I've learned in life, or just reflecting on life, whatever, or funny things, or books I'm reading, or, I mean, I do think that from time to time, the vlog becomes a little bit of like what my mom used to call therapy, is like a press conference, where I'm just like, this is what I did. But for me, to start the vlog, I found that it's easier for me to kind of go in and talk about what I did yesterday and today, and then kind of go from there. But if you guys don't like that, you want something else, listen, I don't have to share anything that I did for the last 24 hours. My life is not exciting. But I want to make vlogs that are, I mean, I know a lot of you are watching this or listening to this while you're getting ready for your day, or going to work, or making dinner, or cleaning the house. I don't know, like, what you guys like to listen to. So, and I know a lot of you guys listen to this while you fall asleep. So just let me know, like, in the comments. I would love to, that would really help me a lot, to kind of know, like, oh, Peter, I like to hear stories of your life, or no, I do like the book recommendations, or no, I don't like the book recommendations. And I can tell you right now, when I say this, I'm going to get 30 different responses that are going to be all over the place. But that will help me a little bit, you know, at least know. But the Final Girl support group, like his best-selling novel, The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, Grady Hendrix's latest is a fast-paced, frightening, and wickedly humorous thriller. From chainsaws to summer camp slayers, the Final Girl support group plays tribute to slyly subverts our most popular horror films, movies like The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Scream. Lynette Tarkington is a real-life final girl who survived a massacre. For more than a decade, she's been meeting with 5 other final girls with their therapist and support group for those who survived the unthinkable, working to put their lives back together. Then one woman misses a meeting and their worst fears are realized. Someone knows about the group and is determined to rip their lives apart again, piece by piece. But the thing about Final Girls is that no matter how bad the odds, how dark the night, how sharp the knife, they will never ever give up. So it's about these, there's like 6 women in this Final Girls group. Do you guys know what a Final Girl, for those of you, I don't want to talk down to you, but for anybody that doesn't watch horror movies, the Final Girl is the girl that, like, makes it out of the horror movie at the very end. They're called Final Girls. And it's become a trope, like, in novels now, that there's, like, now there's movies and things about, like, the trauma of being a final girl. And, like, okay, what this does is, it takes, like, Scream, Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I can't remember the other ones in there. I think Halloween's in there. It takes like 6 different movies, but it's like if they weren't movies, if they were actually real life and happened. Like if, like Sydney from Scream, if that wasn't a movie, if it actually happened to somebody in real life. And so it's like 6 real life final girls and a therapist, and they're in the support group. And they're all completely different. And then it's like, so you find out about what their lives have been like since, but you know the movies, like if you know, I mean, I haven't even seen all the Nightmare on Elm Streets, I can't stand those movies, but you kind of know, like, you know, the whole idea of Heather and the dreams and all that kind of stuff. So, and Laurie Strode and Michael Myers, you know the storylines. So then you get to find out what's happened in their life now, but then the serial killer is like hunting them down one by one, and they're like on the run. It is so good, you guys. Like, so when I read, when did this book come out? Because I think I was really excited. I think this one came out after the Riley Sager book. Yeah, 2021. Because I was really like excited about this book because I love the idea of a final girl. But the Riley Sager book missed the point, missed it for me. So the Riley Sager books, I know people love them. Like on the Psychological Book Club, Mel and I talked forever last night, like an hour and a half on the phone. But like on that psychological book thriller book club that I follow on Facebook, they constantly are talking about the Riley Sager books and the Frida McFadden books. I like the Frida McFadden books. I've only read the first two in the Housemaid series, but I thought they were good. Apparently people say they're real repetitive. I think Tanya's read everything she put out. Mel's read quite a few of her books too, and they both like her. I thought her books were good. I thought the Housemaid books were good. I didn't think that they were... I went into the first Housemaid book, and I thought it would be really predictable. I didn't find it to be predictable. I thought the character development was well done. I thought the story was, like I said, not predictable. I was surprised. I liked the characters. I was rooting for some of the characters when you found out about them. Book 2 I liked, I think even better than book 1 because it's a complete... I thought it would just like we start where it left off, and it didn't. It was like a year later or something. And she's in school and whatever, but... I shouldn't have said that. Well, it's been out for a while now. That's not going to ruin the book or the second book for you. Anyway. But I like the characters in there. I haven't read the third one yet. I haven't downloaded an Audible. I need to finish that series and get it done. And I think there's the Housemaid's Wedding, too, and it's like a novella. What was I going to say? But they talk a lot about Riley Sager. I just feel like Riley Sager is a thriller writer. For me, like he gets it, it's like, he gets it to like 70% and then it kind of falls flat for me every time I read his books. So I'm not like, that's why I have like 3 of his books on Audible. And somebody asked me yesterday, they said on the vlog, they said something like, why do you have so many Audible books? I have like 644 audiobooks or something unlistened to. You guys, every time there's a sale, I feel like I try to like rationalize it by saying there's nothing different than me having all these books on the bookshelf. But there is. Like every time there's a sale, like some of the sales are so good on Audible that like a $29 book that you would spend on a credit that costs you $12 will be like $4. And I'm like, well, if you went into a bookstore, you'd be hard pressed to find a new bestseller for $4, right? So I buy it on Audible. But then the books just stack up and stack up and stack up on Audible. So that's why I have so many books. I'm like, I used to say this on BookTube back in the day, that I loved buying books more than reading books. I love both now. I mean, but then I get so excited and I don't want to forget it. I actually bought 2 books last night. So anyway, but they talk so much about so that's why I have so many damn books. I know. I have so many books on Audible. It's ridiculous. Do you guys want to know how many unread books I have on Audible? No, like seriously, it's ridiculous. Let's go to my library. I have 1,619. I have 1,619 books, unread books, not started books on Audible. Okay, so I bought 2 last night. I actually got Nikki and Mel interested in these 2. So there was like this post in the Psychological Book Club, and it said something like, can you guys like hype a series? By the way, somebody told me yesterday they were telling me, another YouTuber that I was talking to, they said, you need to have your people start hyping your videos. And I go, I've seen a couple people comment and be like, oh, I hyped your video. I go, what is that? And they said, there's supposedly a button or something. I haven't even looked. Let me turn the volume down on this. Supposedly there's a button that you can like hype your videos. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Well, where do you do it? How do you hype it? I don't see anywhere where you can do this. How do you hype a video? Maybe I can't do it because this is one of my videos. Okay, let's pick up Chapel Roan, Good Luck Babe. Somebody said in my video, they said, I've never heard of Good Luck or Good Night Babe because I called it Good Night Babe. I get everything wrong, don't I? Okay. Does anybody know what that means to hype a video? Let's look this up because I don't know how to do this. Okay, hold on a second. How to hype a YouTube video. Find and view a video from an eligible creator that was uploaded within the last 7 days. Oh, that's why. Swipe left on the comment preview carousel until the option to hype the video surfaces, or tap the carousel will change to show the option to hype. What? Well, that's why that Chapel Roan video won't do it, but here's mine. I don't think it'll let you. It probably won't let you do it on your own. Let's go into YouTube. Why is it not pulling up? I have no idea what this is. I don't even know what it means, but apparently it like puts you on some like leaderboard or something like that. Does anybody know what I'm talking about even? Now it's all, like, you want to know what my suggested videos are. Billie Eilish, What Was I Made For from the Oscars. Sabrina Carpenter, Good Luck Babe. Okay, let's go into this one. Where can you... Comments. I have no idea what this means. I have no idea how you hype a comment or hype a... Like, no idea. Go into comments. No, I have no idea. Anybody let me know. If you know how to do it, hype this video. I won't be hyping any videos because I don't even know how to do that. Okay. Here's a long walk review. Let's go in here and see if I can hype this video. I don't even know who this person is. Possessed by Horror. Oh, I've never heard of this channel before. Oh, I kind of like her. Oh, okay. I'm going to subscribe to her. I haven't watched the video yet. How do you hype it? What does this even mean? This video came out a day ago, so I should be able to hype this. Oh, she's got cute merch on here. I haven't been to my merch shop in forever to even look. I probably haven't even sold a shirt in forever. Oh, by the way, just to put this out there, I've had like some major issues with cameos in the last week. Like, they're not showing up, and so they all showed up for me today, and they're like all like I had like 3 that were expired, and I'm like, they didn't even show up on my thing. So I'm gonna go through today or tomorrow, and I'm just gonna like do them, like complete those, just to make. I just want people to know, like, if you got a cameo for me, and I think there's only 3 people, but if you got a cameo for me that I didn't complete, that's why. I'll explain it in the cameo too, but anyway. Because I try to keep up on my cameos. Where is... Okay, how to hype a video. I'm going to look this up again. How to hype a YouTube video. How to hype YouTube videos. Upload a video. For the first 7 days after you publish a video, viewers will see the option to hype. Empower your fans. With hype, viewers can rally around your latest upload and let everyone know it's worth watching. Where would you... 3 weeks ago, how to use YouTube's new hype feature. I'm gonna watch this video real quick. Be the first to hype this video. Where does it show it? I'm like watching this like short about it. Oh, apparently it's on, you have, where you can like, do you have to do it on like a mobile phone? Let's just go into my YouTube. Here's what comes up on my YouTube as suggested. This nervous mom froze on stage and sang the hardest. I watch all of these like iconic moments when Rebel Wilson. Okay, I've been watching like Rebel Wilson at the BAFTAs. She is hilarious. Where's the video from the... How do I get to trending? Britain's Got Talent. Here's my suggestions. Britain Got Talent, music, American Idol, Rebel Wilson. Where does it just take me to like trending? What is this? Hype. Okay, wait. Browse the top 100 and keep track of how videos... Well, let's just go to the #1 hyped video. And then... no. How do you hype it, though? Okay, let me turn the volume down. Does anybody know what I'm even talking about? There's ads right now. I want to say something else too. A couple people have said something, this has not been recently, but about the ads and the videos. You guys, YouTube, I hardly ever look anymore because YouTube, like as of, I think it was like May 10th or May 12th, puts the ads in there. I've said this recently. A couple people have been like, there's so many more ads than there were before. I'm not putting not one ad in my video. Like, I literally, it's like, it's just set on there now. They just include mid-roll ads. I looked the other day because somebody said something about, like, there were so many ads in this video. I went and looked. I actually took some ads out of that video because I can go in and I can remove them. You can go in and place ads and remove them, even if they put the mid-roll ads in. But it was literally like, I looked, I was like, oh my God. Because most of my videos, like, when I look, it's honestly spaced out pretty fairly. But when I went and looked, I mean, it was like the video, I can't remember which vlog it was. It was from like 4 or 5 days ago. But it was literally like every minute. I was like, oh my God, I did not do that. I just want to say, I did not do that. Okay, let's go on here and see how you hype this video. Okay. What is, not even giving me, because it's a short? There's not even comments on here. Oh wait, they're there, okay. Comments. How do you hype it? This is from, maybe it's because it's from 6 days ago? I don't understand this. And people are like, clip, thanks, report, download, remix, share. Maybe you can't hype that one anymore? What doesn't show next to the video when they come out? I've never heard of any of these people in these videos. They're mostly like animated stuff. It must be all like kid stuff. I mean, I would kind of prefer to hype a video of somebody or something that I actually care about. I don't even know what some of these things are. I've never even heard of these things. Okay, how do you find like a new video? Where's trending? Movies and TV. Let's go into that. Oh, it's not pulling up reviews, it's pulling up the movie. Oh, I get it. Okay. Movie reviews. Let's go into like one of my favorite channels of movie reviews. Here it is. Jeremy Johns. I like him. Let's go to his newest video from 1 day ago. That Highland cow. I've seen that ad so many times I've thought about buying it. For the dogs. Okay. And you're supposed to go into the comments and hype it. There's literally nowhere here. It doesn't even show that option. Share, ask, remix, download, clip, save, report. Does anybody even know what I'm talking about? I have no clue. Anyway, I don't feel like I have any more idea now than I did before, and I just feel like I just wasted a bunch of time. Hyping videos, eligibility, availability. For the first 7 days you publish a video, viewers will see the option to hype. When a video is hyped, what does that even mean? Well, if you see it, oh, if a video's been out less than 7 days from a creator with under 500,000 subscribers, you can hype it. Oh, that's probably why his didn't come up. Because he's got 2 million subscribers. Okay, let's go do a movie review. Here, this guy. They're all reviewing this movie. Oh, I like these guys. Okay, this is a gay couple. Fish Jelly Film Reviews. Do you guys know them? Okay, let's see. The last video. Everybody's watching this Him movie. What is that movie? Okay. Where do you hype it? Does it give you an option to hype it? Does anybody have any clue what I'm talking about? More? I'm not seeing it at all on here. What's this? Dollar sign? Oh, you can tip money. I have all that turned on, but I didn't know you can do that. Add a comment. Oh, now I know how you guys timestamp stuff. I hardly ever comment on videos. I don't know what that means to hype a video. I honest to God, like, find a video, view a video from an eligible creator that was uploaded within the last 7 days. Swipe left on the comment preview carousel. Comment preview carousel. Swipe left. I just did, and it just took me out of the whole video. The comment preview carousel. Oh! Until the option to hype surfaces the video. Why don't they have it on here? It doesn't even option. Listen to on YouTube Music. Ask. Summarize the video. It doesn't give the option to do it. Did they take it away already? Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, what was I talking about? Raleigh Sager. Okay, so let me tell you though, really quick, for people that like book recommendations. Okay. So on the Thriller Book Club last night, I just wasted a bunch of time doing all that. That was stupid. Anyway, oh well. So last night, I'm gonna look up both these books. Okay, so last night, that's not the name of the book. Hold on a second. Here it is. Okay, did I talk about this already on here? Maybe I did. So last night, I was on that psychological book club thing, and they were talking about, like, why do I feel, I told Tanya, Nikki, and Mel all about this, so I feel like I've already talked about it on a vlog. But they were talking about, like, series that don't get hyped. Oh, was that what I was thinking about? Hyped enough, okay? And so they talked about this series called Heartsick by Chelsea Cain. And, like, it was like the top comment, and somebody said, oh my God, I love that series. And somebody else said, oh my God, that series was so good. Like, I need to reread it. And I was like, how have I never heard of this series before? There's 6 books in the series. It's Heartsick by Chelsea Cain, C-A-I-N. Damaged Portland Detective, and I bought both of these books on Audible last night. That's why I have 619 books. Damaged Portland Detective Archie Sheridan spent 10 years tracking Gretchen Lowell, a beautiful serial killer, but in the end, she was the one who caught him. 2 years ago, Gretchen kidnapped Archie and tortured him for 10 days. But instead of killing him, she mysteriously decided to let him go. She turned herself in, and now Gretchen has been locked away for the rest of her life. While Archie is in prison of another kind, addicted to pain pills and able to return to his old life, powerless to get those 10 horrific days off his mind, Archie's a different person, his estranged wife says, and he knows she's right. He continues to visit Gretchen in prison once a week, saying that only he can get her to confess to the whereabouts of more of her victims, but even he knows the truth. He can't stay away. When another killing begins snatching teenage girls off the street of Portland, Archie has to pull himself together enough to lead the new task force investigating the murders. A hungry young reporter, Susan Moore, begins profiling Archie in the investigation, which sparks a deadly game between Archie, Susan, the new killer, and even Gretchen. So these books are called The Archie and Gretchen. So they must be all about him and the serial killer that he caught. So that's the first one, okay? And the first one's called Heartsick. Archie Sheridan and Gretchen Lowell, book 1, and it's by Chelsea Cain, okay? The other one I'm really, really excited about, and it's called Malevolent. It's the Shay Archer series, book 1, and now I have a couple of her other books besides the Misfortune series, but I've seen this one come up before, but I didn't know anything about it, and people were like raving about this book series. It's by Jana DeLeon, who is my favorite author of my favorite cozy mystery series, Misfortune. So this one is 6 books as well, and the first book is called, it's the Shay Archer series by Jana DeLeon, and the first book is called Malevolent. Shay Archer's life effectively began the night police found her in an alley, beaten and abused, with no memory of the previous 15 years, not even her name. 9 years later, she's a licensed private investigator with a single goal: to get answers for her clients when there aren't supposed to be any. And maybe someday, answers for herself. Emma Frederick thought her nightmare was over when she killed her abusive husband, but someone is stalking her and tormenting her with mementos from her past. With no evidence to support her claims, the police dismiss her claims as post-traumatic stress. But Shay is convinced that someone is deliberately terrorizing Emma, playing a cat and mouse game with only one goal in mind. Doesn't that sound so good? So anyway, got lots of books to read. Okay, I need to get back to, let's talk about the dogs last night. So, where am I at? Oh, I've got about 40 seconds left until the battery's at the 30-minute mark again. So I'll try to get into this for a second. Anyway, I wasted so much time. If somebody knows how to hype a video, either put it in the comment section or DM me or email me or something. I'd like to know, and I guess I'll just call my friend when I get off here too and be like, you were talking about hyping videos. What does that even mean? I've seen people comment on my videos and be like, hyping this video for Peter, and I don't even have any clue what that means. So, but now I know what it means. and it gets you on some leaderboard, which apparently I don't think that means anything either, but it's whatever. So, what was I going to say? I'm getting out of all of these. Final Girl Support Group. Oh my god, this book, I wanted to buy this book. The camera stopped. That 40 seconds went fast, didn't it? Holly's Christmas Inn. I'm trying to put together a list of Christmas books that I want to read. I need to start putting it together now. Nikki was sending me some Mel hates Christmas books. Tanya could care less about Christmas books, so it's just like Nikki and I. But that's going to start the day after Halloween, baby. The day after Halloween. Well, the day after Halloween, we have a wedding. We're going to. I'm excited about this wedding. Actually, that bride, who is one of Alex's really dear friends too, and is also the best friend of the last bride that got married. It's all, so I met them. These are the two girls that I met years ago at Ultra Music Festival. This friend that's getting married on November 1st, I love her fiance. He's so nice. So it's a group of like 4 girls and they're all engaged at the same time. Isn't that kind of cute? But anyway, so she went to college with Alex. That's how Alex knows her. And then we met up with her at Ultra. That was the first time. That was like, I don't know, 10 or 12 years ago. That was the first time that I met the girl that just got married. Anyway, so she's getting married on November 1st. But I forgot, Alex had told me that her bridal shower is tomorrow from 11 to 2. And then he said, I'll swing by and we can go to Patachou for brunch. And I said, okay. So I have a feeling the bridal shower will probably go a little bit longer and then there won't be any brunch, which is totally fine. Because if that's the case, I'm going to text him when I get up or like get ready for the start of my day. I'm going to be like, hey, if it's going to go longer, and then I'm going to order food from Rise. Because I've been wanting to get that mushroom and Gruyere from Rise. Oh, I could have done that today. Damn it. It's closed now. They close at 2. But anyway, the Patachou is the only brunch place that closes at 3. Okay, so last night, back to the dogs. When Alex came home, they told us that like from the anesthesia and stuff like that, that they were going to be like real out of it and whatever. I didn't. When Boo and Tucker had, so when I met Alex, he had Pee-Pee, Duncan, but Pee-Pee was the nickname that Alex, I think Sarah actually gave him the nickname, Pee-Pee. When I met Alex, he had Pee-Pee. Pee-Pee had already been neutered, so I didn't go through that with Pee-Pee. When we got Boo and Tucker, I don't remember the cone thing being such an issue. Like, I remember, actually, like, we had the cones, like, after we taken them off. They were in, like, the back of their house down there, because we kept, like, all their clothes and stuff on there. I mean, I literally just, like, threw them away before we got Otis and Walter, because it was, like, we kept them in case we ever needed them again. But then we found the inflatable ones for Tucker, and those were, like, much better. But anyway, but these are, like, they keep the dog's head, like, they can't lick each other and they can't lick themselves. I don't remember, I was asking Alex, I said, do you remember these being such, like, I mean, I remember Boo and Tucker sleeping together on the crate and stuff like that. That was not possible last night with Otis and Walter. So, I think because they were both really tired and they don't really, Walter doesn't really, he kind of forgets about the cone. Otis just sits there, it's real cute. He kind of looks like an astronaut. Like, Otis gets it. Like, Walter kind of forgets that it's on his head, and then he kind of like, he's like, what's on my head, what's on my head? So, although Walter can go up and down the stairs with it, Otis cannot. So, like, and then as soon as Walter walks upstairs, and Otis starts crying. So, but anyway, so they came home last night, and then it was Alex and I was so tired at that point. I was like, I need to lay down, because I'd had like 3 hours of sleep. So we're all laying in bed. I thought they honestly would go right to sleep, because they had, like, you know, their surgeries and stuff like that. Otis was like walking around the bed a little bit, and then he came, and he, like, where our pillows are, like where Boo Rally slept sometimes, he went right in between the pillows, and like Otis fell asleep. Walter, like, he kept on moving around the bed, and he wouldn't lay down. He would just sit there, and then he'd just, like, do this with the cone, and he would scratch at the cone. Like, the cone was so irritating him, and I felt so bad for the little guy, because I could just tell he didn't understand. Like, he didn't get it, like, what's going on with this. And then he would come over, and he would look just, like, he'd get real close to me, and he'd, like, try to give me kisses, and then, like, the cone would hit my face, and then he'd get real annoyed by it. I could tell he just didn't understand it. He was getting real confused, and the cone was stressing him out, all kind of stuff. So, we were just, like, laying around and stuff like that. I was so tired. One of Alex's friends, the friend that we, like, have gone on trips with her and her husband and stuff like that, not the one with the cabin, the other couple that we go and do stuff with, So her husband was doing something with her kids last night. And so she was like, she called Alex and was like, do you and Peter want to go get a bite to eat? And so he was like, do you want to go somewhere? I said, I'm gonna stay here with them. He's like, do you care if I go? I said, no, go, because I need to get some sleep. I need to relax. So they went to Kilroy's, and then they went back to her house. He's like, do you care if I like go over to her house and watch a movie? I was like, enjoy yourself. I'm just like laying here. I was literally laid in bed, and was it yesterday? When did I finish the Sister Wife book? I think I finished it yesterday. So I finished the Sister Wife book laying there with them. Alex went to Kilroy's and they had nachos. Kilroy's is like this bar restaurant in Broad Ripple, but it got famous in Bloomington at Indiana University. I cannot believe the battery at 1 hour and 5 minutes is not the halfway mark. Watch, as soon as I say that, it'll get there. But anyway, so Alex loves it. All of his friends love Kilroy's. I'm not a big fan of Kilroy's, but they do have really great breadsticks. So they got breadsticks and they got nachos, and then they wanted to watch a movie. So they went back, and Alex was like, do you know where I can find... I love when people ask me that. It's like... do you know where we can watch Heaven... Or where we can... Not Heaven. Where we can watch Heathers? I was like, you could probably Google it like I do. But I didn't say that. So it was on Tubi. So anyway, so they went back to her house, and they watched Heathers. He's like, I had forgotten how good that movie is. I haven't seen Heathers in forever. But what is so funny, because he sent me a picture. He's like, how do you know that line? I'm like, do you know how many times I've seen Heathers? Okay, so he texted me. He didn't understand Tubi. So I said, did you figure out Tubi? He said, we did. And I said, okay, good. And then he sent me this picture of them like in her basement watching it. And I said, so what are you going to do, Heather? Take 2 shots or send me out? And he was like confused. And I go, I don't even know what that means, haha, but the lines are funny. He's like, did you eat a tumor for breakfast? Because that's from the movie. I said, if they're playing croquet, it's in that scene. He goes, I know it's in that scene. We just didn't know what it meant. He did that like emoji. And then he said he was coming home when they finished the movie. So I'm laying there with the dogs, and I'm like, Otis is asleep next to me. Walter is like real anxious. Walter finally, I'm like laying on my side watching every move that Walter makes. Walter finally lays down, and he like lays down, and then it's like, like I'm out for the night. So I fell asleep. Well, I woke up because Otis was whimpering in his sleep, and I was like, okay. He's like laying right next to me. He's like, so like I woke up. And so then when he was whimpering, that woke up Walter, and then Walter was like at it again. So I brought them downstairs, took them outside. They wouldn't really do anything outside. They wouldn't potty or anything. They just kind of stood there. They didn't really get what was going on. I knew I was going to give them their trazodone last night, but I was trying to wait till like the very last minute to give it to them because I wanted them to sleep through the night so I could sleep. So they actually did pretty good last night. So I took like a 20-minute nap last night. I fell asleep, and then Otis started whimpering. So when Alex came home, Alex was like, well, why don't you just bring him back? Because I was down here. I finished the Sister Wife book, and then I started the Alex Cross book on listening to it on Audible. He said, why don't you just like bring them up here, and then maybe they'll get relaxed and stuff like that. I said, because their beds are down here and stuff. And I said, it's easier for me just to take them outside when I'm down here. And he was like, okay. And he goes, well, I'm going to go to bed early. He's like, I'm really tired. And I said, okay. So they were like, they were wandering around a little bit. Oh my gosh. You guys, they are so sweet. Can you see him look? Like Otis he just looked over here. But Otis is on the floor. And Walter's in his bed. Walter is asleep. Look at those little guys. Those guys hate those cones. I feel so bad for them. So anyway, so they came down here. They're not, like a lot of people online were talking about, they had a really hard time like keeping their dogs like from running around and playing and stuff like that, because the vet did say like you don't want them to run around. Oh, the battery is at the halfway mark. She did say you don't want them running around and playing a whole lot and stuff like that. They're not really wanting to run around and play a whole lot at all. Late last night. So I brought my books over here because each of them went. They usually sleep. So the big bed I brought back up. So they usually sleep like in one of the beds together, like they kind of lay on each other. So they finally did, and I was reading. Oh, so I'm reading Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I read my 3 chapters last night. I'm trying to try to read more of that today. And then I'm finishing the Alex Cross book, and then I'm going to start the September House on Audible. And then I'm also reading Nuclear Dawn by Kayla Stone, that apocalypse book. I picked up that last night again, Witch's Sister, the middle grade, the kids book. I'm trying to get through that. And then the James Patterson book. I'm really, really liking that James Patterson book. It doesn't really read like a James Patterson book. About the girl that they find in the diner or whatever. I showed it to you guys the other day. There's another book that I'm reading too. Ice Alien Barbarians, but I didn't read any of that last night. So anyway, I read like 3 or 4 chapters of Nuclear Dawn. Anyway, I read like 3 or 4 chapters of each of it, except for Ice Alien Barbarians. When we were coming back from me getting my fountain pop, Laura's outside reading Red Rising by Pierce Brown for like the 5th time, because she loves that series. And I shot out the window. I said, you better be reading that alien sex book. She just laughed. Anyway, so they did really, really good. I read late last night. Was it night Friday? Yeah, I read late last night. Like, I think I didn't even start my shows until like, yeah, I don't think I started my shows until I put Otis in his house. So it was like 2:30. Well, about like halfway through that, I started reading at like 11. I mean, I got up and made coffee and took them out and stuff like that. It wasn't like I sat there for 3 or 4 hours and read. I talked on the phone. Last night I talked to Mel, I talked to Tanya, I talked to Nikki, I talked to a couple other people on the phone last night, try and get caught up on all my phone calls and things like that. But I read for quite a while, and I'm so enjoying reading again, like just physical copy books. Like, it's just so cozy. I just like, I don't know, I love just to have a candle lit. It's kind of dark in here. I'm drinking my coffee. I just love it so much. So anyway, and I read actually outside a little bit last night too, because it was still nice enough that I could. That's the thing. It's like, I like the cool evenings, but I like the warm evenings too. But I don't really sit outside that much. Next summer, I'm going to sit outside and read and maybe watch some shows. Below Deck Mediterranean starts again this week. So many things are starting this week. Survivor, my neighbor and I were talking about this. Survivor and Amazing Race start this week. I'm really excited about it. But anyway, Amazing Race is all people from Big Brother. Did you guys know that? All right, so about 1 o'clock, Otis got up and he was trying to play. And he was like, not with Walter. Walter was asleep. And he was trying to like play. I think it was about that time, because I like waited and waited and waited to give them their trazodone. It was about that time that I gave them their trazodone. So Otis, yeah, it was right after he like got up and started playing, because I was like, okay, I was trying to like figure out like it took like, that morning, it took like a half an hour to 40 minutes, or the night before in the morning, it took like half an hour, 45 minutes to kick in. So it was like, if I give it to him now, then I can get them to sleep at like 2 o'clock. So he got up and he was playing a little bit. I went, I put him in the, what do you call it, the pill pockets, and then gave him the trazodone. And then he was playing, and he was like playing with LaDonna Duck. Walter was not having it, and I could tell at that point. So Walter, like, Otis had slept off and on throughout the night. Walter had not really. Like, he slept a little bit, but then he'd like wake up. He was real anxious. Every time he woke up, he was like, come, like you could tell. And so when I would take them out, they were fine. They would like sit right next to each other on their leashes and stuff like that. So I took them downstairs at about 2:30, and I was like, my eyes, I felt like were gonna just shut. I was so tired. And so I put them in their house. Well, I was folding laundry in the laundry room, so the door was open. And at that point, like, Otis was walking around the crate, and he kept on, like, the thing kept on, like, bumping into, like, you know, the sides of the crate. And so he would, like, switch around really quick. Well, when he did, it, like, scared Walter. And then, like, their things were clashing into each other. And then Walter got a little growly with him last night. And I think it was because he was really tired. I don't know, because they never get that way with each other. It was kind of like, I mean, unless they're like over a toy or a bone or something like that, they'll be like, well, they don't really have a lot of bones, but toys, they'll be like, but very rarely are they like that. But Walter was kind of like that a little bit. So I came out and I stood outside their house, and I was like, what's going on, Walter? And he was staring Otis down. Like, he was like, I could tell he was like exhausted. So I was like, okay, we're not doing this tonight. So I was like, we're gonna just separate you. So honest to God, because they don't sleep apart, I thought Otis would cry and cry and cry. So Otis was so tired. Like, he was like ready to go to sleep, stumbling around inside the crate, the house. So I brought Walter out, and I shut the crate, and Otis like went right in there. They have like this big bear, teddy bear, and he just put his head on it. Like, he was like, I'm ready to go to sleep. So I put him in there, turned the lights off, stuff like that, and I brought Walter up here. Well, Walter wanted to sit next to me in the chair. As soon as I put Walter in the chair next to me, he was out. I mean, like, out. Like, I got up to make a cup of coffee like 5 minutes later, and he usually, like, on a regular night, like, they'll get up and, like, sit up when I go in the kitchen to, like, get a cup of coffee or go to the bathroom or whatever. Like, are we going somewhere? Whatever. He was out. And I think that's why I kind of acted that way. But then I was kind of like, I don't know what to do, because, like, I'm going to have to separate him to sleep and whatever. So we stayed up So I started watching the show. So at that point, I started watching War of the Worlds. I want to finish War of the Worlds. Was it last night or the night before that I watched an episode of The Valley? I don't know if I watched The Valley. I'm trying to get through The Valley too. I want to finish War of the Worlds this weekend. I really, really like War of the Worlds, but it's 3 seasons. I need to get on to something else. So I've got 3 episodes left, so my plan is to finish that tonight. Where am I at on time? This battery is going long. This must be a really good battery. Oh my God, I'm at like 15 minutes already on the, that's the halfway mark. I'll get another battery to finish this when this battery dies. Maybe I should do that right now because the battery's gonna die in a second. I'll be mid-story. Okay, I'll be back in 2 and 2. Okay, I'm back. This is gonna be a long vlog today. By the way, little Otis is sitting right over here now. Anytime I get up, see, like, unless they're like really, really tired, well, Walter's still asleep. But what's this little, what, is that an astronaut? Is that an astronaut? What are you doing, buddy? You can go back to sleep? Okay, do you guys remember when I bought that artwork? I still haven't put it up. I can't remember what this illustrator's name is. I love her so much. Is her name in here? It's Kristen something. She's like from Norway. But anyway, do you guys remember I bought this journal last year? It's been sitting upstairs. It's like this handmade journal. I love this journal so much. So I've kind of been wondering what to do with this. I just love any kind of journal. Look, even in the back of it, it just has like some lined paper just randomly in there. But I love this so much. I'm scratching this thing. Did I talk about this on here already? I thought of this idea a while ago. I think I'm gonna put in here, like I'm gonna write a little like thing about it. And then I'm gonna put all the animals that have ever visited our house. I'm gonna start with like Pee-Pee. Oh, well that got Walter up. Now Walter's up. Come here, buddy. You want me to scratch up for you? Come here, honey. Do me a scratch up for you? A scratch up for you, yeah. Is that driving me nuts? Yeah, it feels so good, doesn't it? Uh-huh. Yeah. I know, you hate those cones, don't you? So I think what I'm gonna do is start in here and put like, if you guys have not watched me for a while, do you guys remember I used to talk about the squirrels in the backyard? And I named them after mob wives. There was Big Ange, Drita, and Renee back in the backyard. Do you guys remember me talking about that? So I'm gonna start like, I'm gonna put like Pee-Pee, Boo, and Tucker in here, but like each one will get like a page and I'll talk a little bit about them or whatever. And then obviously Walter and Otis, and then like Steve the squirrel, LaDonna Duck. I don't even, what was her husband's name? Harold? Because I originally said Howard, because it was like the movie, but I think it's Harold the Duck. And then her sister, LaJudy. And then I'm gonna have to remember all the animals. If you guys list the names of the animals you remember me talking about through the years. So I'm just gonna keep this as an ongoing book. And anytime I name an animal in the yard or whatever, then I'll have like a book of all the animals that have ever come to visit us at this house. Won't that be so nice? Not like if they just stopped by and stuff like that. Cause like when Sarah, she's like brought her dog over here and stuff like that, but like not like that, but like the animals that I name and things like that, you know, and then the animals that lived here. Don't you think that would be sweet? I like that idea. So anyway, isn't that so pretty though? I love this journal. So anyway, so then last night I watched, I was so tired, but I was like, I want to stay up and watch these shows. Like I was like, I knew I should have just gone to bed. But then I was like, if I go to bed, then I'll get up earlier and whatever. So I was like, I can tell Walter was getting a little like, now Otis is wanting to sleep and Walter was wanting to be like playful and stuff. What are you doing over there, honey? Their cones like slide by each other. They're just, during the day they do well. When they're really tired late at night, like, well, I guess it can only last night. But when they're really tired like late at night and their cones are hitting each other, then they get kind of like irritated about it. But like during the day, it's like they're not that bad. Say, I hate this thing, Dad. When do we get these off? It's gonna, you got about a week, bud. But you're getting more used to, so today, okay. So anyway, so I didn't really know what to do and I was texting Nikki and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, to separate them and whatever. But I also wanted them each to get a good night's sleep. So we have the bed upstairs in the bedroom and stuff. I think tonight I'm gonna switch them out. Although Otis did so well in the crate by himself last night that I'm, like, I feel bad, like in my head, like I should give Otis the attention we gave Walter last night. But in my head, I'm kind of like, Otis did so well, maybe we'll just keep it the way it was. So I like had Walter's bed, like Walter and Otis's bed. It's like, well, it's the same size as Boo Radley's bed was. We have it up there, so I took all the toys out of it. I put it real close next to me on the floor, and I had all the pillows and stuff like that. They haven't really like slept a night with us in bed yet. And so I put all these pillows around it and stuff like that, and I put him in the bed. And as I was like going to sleep last night, I was like looking over the side of him, and he fell asleep. He fell out. Well, I slept today. I got up, and I was like, got up to take them out, and I looked down, and he was out. And so like, I set my alarm for like another hour, and I looked down again, and he was like out. So finally, I got up, and brought him downstairs, and then I went and looked. Otis was asleep in his crate. And he had been in there since like, I mean, he got like a good like 8 hours of sleep. So he was like, slept through the night. Walter slept through the night. I actually think, oh, they're kissing each other right now. Are y'all kissing each other in your cones? You guys love each other so much. It was a really good thing to separate them last night. I thought they would cry, because I said something to Nikki, and Nikki was like, well, do you think that Otis will start crying? And that was kind of my fear. I thought like, well, Otis is going to start crying, and then Walter's going to start crying. They didn't cry at all. They did really, really good last night. I was kind of surprised. I think that just because they were so tired. And then today, like yesterday, like, I mean, even last night, it was just like constant, like, you know, they didn't know what to do. The scratching of the cones, Otis does it. Walter doesn't really do it a whole lot. But like today, he's like walking over to me right now. Like, he doesn't really mind the cone. You want to show everybody your cone, buddy? Today, he doesn't really mind the cone as much as he did yesterday. He says, I still don't like it, Dad. He said, but I don't really... Aw, thank you, honey. He says, but I know that I have to wear it, and I understand it. So he doesn't hate it. You don't hate it, do you? He said, no. So last night, he hated it. I guess this morning, they're doing better with it. Like, they walk around outside now and stuff like that. Like, I took them out on their leashes. They went over and saw Mrs. She's like, oh my God. She's like, they look adorable in their little cones. And they went over there and saw her. And, oh my God. Now, Otis is on his back sleeping with his cone. They're so funny. So, yeah. So, Alex went over to see his mom. I'll text him right now and get a little update since I've been vlogging for so long. Hold on a second. I thought she was leaving next week for Peru, but I guess she's leaving the first week of October. And then she's talking about possibly maybe going to San Diego to see Fufu and Jesse for Thanksgiving, because Alex was like, well, I would love to go to San Diego for Thanksgiving. I was like, well, we can talk about that if you want, but he's like, no. So... yeah, I haven't even talked to Caroline about what we're doing for Thanksgiving. Caroline, she's like, whatever. Wait, he texted me right back. What did he say? He said, yeah, we just had some food and we're catching up. His grandma's over there too. Carlos and Liliana and Sebastian came, but they have to leave because they stopped by for like just a short period because Sebastian has a game. Oh. I asked them what they had to eat, but they had to rape us. Hamburgers? What? What? Hamburgers? Oh my God, that sounds so good. So tonight my plan is, I mean, I cannot believe that I have vlogged for like over an hour and 20 minutes now, and it is only 3:11. It's after 3. I cannot believe that. I'm not filming any other videos today. I kind of like really want to. He's texting me again. When did he text me? I'm actually kind of hungry right now. I told him to tell everybody. I said hi. I already talked to his mom and stuff, so I wished his grandma happy birthday, so I've talked to them. But what was I gonna say? I kind of want to film some other videos today, but to be honest with you, I kind of want them, like, I just been like, I don't feel like I need to, like yesterday, it was all eyes on them. Like, I was very worried about them and stuff like that. Today, like I said, they still hate the cones, but they're getting around better on the cones. And so I don't feel like I need to watch them like as closely as I was yesterday. I mean, they're fine. They walk around here. I actually like, earlier today I was doing stuff in the kitchen. They like when Alex started this. I can't remember what he was going to play, but he played 101 Dalmatians. They like the sounds and stuff of like TV shows and whatever. I think it's why like they fall asleep when I'm vlogging. Like I think it's soothing to them. You guys, Otis is on his back and Walter's got his head over the side of the bed and they're laying side by side. They're so cute. So anyway, so today I was like trying to pick a movie that I would be kind of interested in having in the background while I was doing stuff in the kitchen and whatever and laundry. So I put the original Halloween Town on, which I think I watched for the first time last year. I don't love it, but it's kind of cute. I haven't watched the rest of the series. I think I only watched the first one. So I had that on. So anyway, I think for like the rest of the day, what was I gonna say? No, like, I don't feel like I need to watch them like I did. I mean, they sleep now. Like, they'll sleep for probably like 45 minutes to an hour, and then I'll take them out, and then they'll come back inside, and they'll sleep and like eat, you know, and then take them back outside and stuff like that. They didn't really eat, like, they didn't want to eat at all last night. Today, for breakfast, they ate. Like, they ate. And so, but they've just been sleeping a lot. So, for me, honestly, it's like, it's kind of a good excuse to just like read and watch TV. Like I said, I want to finish War of the Worlds. So my goals for the weekend are finish War of the Worlds. I'm going to get caught up on Love After Lockup, or Life After Lockup too, because I'm 3 episodes behind as of last night. And then I want to finish War of the Worlds. I want to finish the Alex Cross book and start September House. I want to physically copy or read some of these books. I would like to get farther in the Pumpkin Spice Cafe than just 3 chapters, because I'm really, really enjoying it. This is what I was going to say about it earlier. It is cheesy, but it's kind of and kind of not. Like, I don't know. Like they did this stakeout, her and this guy, because they're trying to like find out like what the sound is outside the cafe. And she like gets all these snacks and cookies and licorice and orders pizza. And it's cute. Like, it's cute, you know, but it's not like, to be honest with you, it's not like, I don't know, some people would probably say, yes, it is. I don't feel like it is. It's kind of stuff that my friends and I would do, you know, like, I don't feel like it's unbelievably corny. Like, if I went over to Tanya's house, I mean, she'd be like, if we were gonna have a stakeout or something like that, or, you know, like, solve a mystery, you know, she'd be like, we gotta have snacks, you know, she'd be like, oh my god, I got all these, I mean, it's like that kind of stuff I love. There was this book club, and all the members, I think it's like 1 gay guy and 4 women. She is, I will say this, it's interesting in the books, because like the grandma's talking to this guy Logan, who's like the main character, and she's like, are you like talking to like, basically, are you like dating or interested in somebody? And she's like, do I know her? She goes, or him? She's like, you know, grandma's cool, I don't care. She's very, in the book, she's very like LGBTQI plus friendly. It's interesting that she makes like a point of doing that in the book. I like that. So anyway, the town is so cute though. I like the books. I think this week, when I'm with Caroline, I think I'm going to buy the rest of the books in the series. I think I'm just going to buy them all. So, you know, I should go into the comments, read a few comments, since I'm just sitting around railway station. Okay. So many of you were talking about congratulating me on being below 200. Thank you so much. You guys, well, I wasn't when I saw my neurologist. So that's another, I don't even know if I said that yesterday. So he was like, well, I'm going to send this to your neurologist. So I'm like, I wish I was in the room when my neurologist said it. Because it's been my neurologist that's been on my butt the most to be under 200 pounds. And so that was like such a big deal for me. I am going to take a walk tonight. That is one thing I do when Alex gets home. I'm going to take a walk. But I just want to say thank you so much. You guys have been so supportive of me. I mean, it's been a lot of hard work. Mel and I were talking a lot about it last night. You know, Mel's on this whole fitness thing, and she's really inspired me a lot. And other, you know, Nikki's really inspired me a lot. Tanya, I mean, Alex is just always really supportive. I mean, Alex, at times that I don't want to take a walk, Alex will be like, babe, you'll feel better once you start walking. And he's so right, like as soon as I do. And he'll be like, we're just going to sit here and watch TV anyway. Just go take a walk. You know, and I was telling Mel this, like, back in the day, like I bought all those protein shakes and stuff because the nutritionist had told me to do that. And, you know, they would just sit in the fridge. And then, like, I'd be so hungry. Mel and I were talking about, like, not being able to have stuff, like, in the house. Like, we both struggle with that. And so I was telling her that I had these protein shakes. And so, like, it's interesting. I can't really narrow it down to, like, this was the day that it started for me. I just remember, like, I wanted to listen to a book. This was like last spring. I wanted to listen to a book, and I was like, it's a nice night, I should go walk. And that's kind of how the walking started. With the food, I can remember Caroline and I were at Trader Joe's, and it wasn't intentional at all. It was so funny because when Mel and I were talking about this, she was almost like, well, that's very natural that it should be gradual like that. I remember like one day, I hardly ever looked at like the salad stuff at Trader Joe's, just that wasn't what I was interested in. And so one day I just kind of was like, well, I'm gonna go down there and look. And I saw that they had that creamy hummus sandwich. So the sandwiches and stuff, they moved at Trader Joe's. It used to be like you go down an aisle and it was at the very end. The sandwiches, they moved over with the salads, which is one of the reasons why I never really looked at the salads. So then I saw that creamy hummus wrap. I was like, oh, here it is. Well, then I started looking at the salads, and that's how I got like into the salads and started buying the salads and eating them. And then my whole thing just changed. But I can remember one night, like Alex would say to me, not in like a shitty sarcastic way, but in a supportive way, like I'd be like, I am so hungry, like I just want to order something really bad. And this was not like my main meal. This was like, it'd be like midnight and I want to like DoorDash like Taco Bell because I was hungry. And he'd be like, babe, why don't you just have one of those protein shakes in there? Well, that's like the last thing you want to hear when you're a foodie and you love food. It's like, why don't I have a protein shake? Or, you know, be like, why don't you have a glass of water and fill up on that? I'd be like, why don't you have a protein shake? I didn't say that, but there was one day and I was really hungry and I had been walking and I had been doing really well. And he said, like real sweet, he was like, you just bought those protein waters, why don't you have one of those protein waters? And I was like, my initial thought was, why don't you back up? I'm gonna order some fast food. But then I was like, no, why don't you have one of those? Why did you buy 3 boxes of protein shakes and protein water if they're just gonna sit in the fridge and you're never gonna drink them? You know, I would have one like every 2 weeks and be like, I'm so proud of myself. So I did, and I wasn't hungry anymore. I was like, oh my God, now I have to admit that my husband's been right all this time. And that was really kind of how the protein stuff started. And Nikki's really big on protein, Caroline's really big on protein, and Tanya's really big on protein. So like they would talk about how they like, Nikki does a lot of hers in coffee. And I can just drink a protein shake down. I like protein shakes. And so that was kind of really how it started for me. And I noticed that I felt fuller and I felt better when I was drinking protein shakes. In addition to like my regular meals as well. Because I would supplement it like 3 times a day with protein shake. So anyway, it just was kind of gradual, but Mel and I talked a lot about it last night. That was a really nice conversation we had. And, you know, it's easier to do the, like, health journey when you have other people that are doing it with, like, on it too. Like, Tanya's been on them forever, Nikki forever. You know, other people in my life. It's easier to do it when you have people that, well, Caroline's been on Weight Watchers forever, but she does Pilates every week and stuff. You know, it's easier for me, I should say, when I have other people and I talk to them and I'm like with Mel and I'm talking to Mel and I was like, I just can't have stuff in the food at home because I graze. And she's like, oh, I'm the same way. But then we were also talking about the importance of allowing ourselves to have things like, I don't want to live, like my fear is that before, like we were talking about like some of the most important lessons. Like one of the most important lessons I've had to learn, and this was a hard lesson for me, with the weight loss and the health is when I am full, I need to stop eating because I always ate until I was uncomfortably full, which is like a binge eating disorder kind of thing, but I don't even know that I have that. I just ate until I was uncomfortably full always. And if I was out to dinner and like, let's say I got nachos and I'd only eaten like a quarter of them, I would be like, well, I'm not going to waste the money. And if you take nachos home, they don't do well, even in an air fryer. So I'm going to eat them because I don't want to waste. It was always like that mentality. When it was like, wouldn't want to waste $5, your health is less important than that. You know what I mean? I don't do that anymore. And I do try to order things that when I'm done eating, I can bring home. And we don't go out to eat that much. I mean, I go to Patashu one day a week, you know? So that was really hard for me to learn, was that when you're full, stop eating. And I know when I say that, there are going to be people out there that are like, that was hard for you to learn. Yeah, that was really hard for me to learn. Very hard for me to learn. I always ate until I was uncomfortably full. And I think the other thing was, like, I don't want the mental obsession with, it's very much an addiction for me. I've worked so much with it on the last 6 months with my therapist on this, that the mental obsession over food is very similar to the mental obsession with drugs and alcohol. And so, but I also have to be very careful because I don't want to be in this, like, this is why I don't do Weight Watchers, even though I think Weight Watchers is a fantastic program, because it's almost kind of a fixation. Like I was talking not too long ago about how it was kind of like a game. It's almost a fixation on like points and keeping points and all this kind of, what are you going to eat next and whatever. Like, I really, like, my goal now that I have lost some weight is to stay active. My doctor was asking me this yesterday. I said, well, really start lifting weights on a regular basis. Continue with my walks. I want to feel healthy, but really it's more about my mental health with food. I want to get out of the point of, like, I don't constantly think about it anymore, but I don't, like, to be honest with you, from a, like, I don't know if this will make any sense, but from like a mental health point of view, when I was obsessively thinking about like, what am I going to eat? What am I going to do? What blah, 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 food. I don't know that there's a whole lot of difference. Not physically. Physically, obviously, it's great that I'm like lost weight and I'm healthier. But from a mental health point of view, to be just as focused, but on, well, I can't eat this, I can't eat that, I got to do this, I got to do that, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't want to be driven by that. I don't want to be driven for the rest of my life about the noise in my head. I still have that. The noise is still there of like, well, I shouldn't eat this and I should eat that and I've got to take my walk and I've got to do this. I just want it to be natural for me. And that's kind of like physical, that's like my physical goal for the next year, is to get to that point where it's just like in the evenings I take a walk, and when I go to the grocery store, like every once in a while I allow myself a treat. Like with the review stuff, today when I got this, I got those Oreo Reese's because I've been wanting to review those. But like, I'll try them and then I'll get rid of them and give them to somebody, you know? It's like, I don't keep stuff in the house anymore. I bought these donuts. Well, I bought those apple fritter bites and I bought those apple cider donuts. And one night, I just sat there with the box in front of me like I used to do with the donuts that I would get, those churro donuts that I love, and I literally ate like 8 in a row. And I told Alex next morning, I said, take these to work. I can't have these in the house anymore. I cannot have this stuff in the house. I'm not strong enough yet. I think it's very similar to when people are like, well, they don't have alcohol in the house in early recovery. Like, I don't feel like that today with alcohol, but with food, it's still a struggle for me. It really, really is. But anyway, but thank you guys so much for the support. There were so many people that were like, congratulations on that. I really, really appreciate it. Amber, maybe, said, can't wait for your review on Christine's book and to hear you say Cozy Mysteries. Also miss you singing Stressed Nick. Oh, Stevie Nicks. Rock on, gold dust woman. I don't really, to be honest with you, I'm going to do my review on Christine's book. I took some, well, when I got done with it, did I say when did I finish it? Did I finish it? Maybe, I thought I finished it last night while I was laying in bed with them. Walter's up. I'm probably have to get off here in a second. Alex probably want to go outside. Hold on a second. You doing okay, honey? Sister Wife, a memoir of faith, family, and finding freedom. The book details. When did I finish this? I think I finished it yesterday, didn't I? You finished this book on September 19th, yeah. I took a few notes, which I will save for my video. I wasn't blown away by it. I think if you're a fan of Sister Wives, you'd enjoy it. I liked it. I gave it 4 stars. I didn't think it was the best. I will tell you my favorite part of it is, well, I'll just share this one part. So she goes in there and tells that Cody kind of said that he realized he wasn't in love with her because they would go on these road trips. And this was before they were even married. And she would always order nacho cheese fries. Basically, she's had a lot of weight issues. She talks a lot about it in the book. She's very honest about it. I love how she talks about it. Body image issues and stuff like that. She uses the word frumpy a lot. And that Cody said something to her about, like, you always order these nacho cheese fries. And she's like, why did you marry me? So at the end, when she leaves them, I didn't understand. I kept on seeing this come up online. People would, like, show this part of the paragraph. But when she leaves them, she's like, she said something like, I'm leaving and I'm not nacho wife anymore. But not a lot of it really surprised me, in all honesty. I don't know why. There wasn't a lot about it. A lot of it you know. Like, if you've watched the show, you just know a lot of it. The alcohol consumption surprised me. I mean, she talks about them drinking way back in the day. Like, and they drank in Vegas. And they don't show a lot of that in the show at all. I mean, there's a part where they go to get, I think they go to Portland or Seattle or San Francisco or something to get Robin's wedding dress. And, like, they're like, should we have a beer and split it? Well, they're having beers and shit at home. She talks about it. That kind of surprised me. The fact that her and Mary hadn't been friends for years before the show even started, that surprised me too. But I'm going to do a full reaction on my drama channel. Oh, Kristen. Hey, Kristen. She said, I am so proud of you for getting below 200 pounds. I lost weight too. Oh my God. She said she's at 175. Oh, congratulations. It does feel so good. Like, I feel like that's been a goal like I've been working on forever. And I feel like I have a little wiggle room too. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do like, you know, a lot of wiggle room, but anyway. Okay, well listen, I'm gonna get off here now and I'm gonna go take them out and get this vlog up. I hope you guys are having, thank you for hanging out with me today. This was fun. I hope you guys are having a magically amazing Saturday. Let me know what you're doing this weekend in the comment section below. And if nobody else has told you this today, me, Walter, Otis, and Alex love you very, very much. And I love you guys and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you.